Welcome back. I'm joined now by Tom Mallams, member of the Klamath Conservative Voters Political Action Committee. And Tom, thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
The PAC has started advertising, as have numerous others, in run-up to the November 2nd election. And there's been a little controversy swirling this week over an ad that ran in last Sunday's edition of the Herald and News that the Klamath Conservative Voters PAC put in there. I guess tell me about the ad first, in case there's anybody listening who didn't get a chance to see that. What did the ad actually say?
Yeah, it was in Saturday's paper. I think on one side we had a platform of conservative candidates running for office, and we endorsed them because our political action committee is endorsing conservative issues and conservative candidates. Some of those candidates, we had positions on them if we knew what they were. Some of them we didn't. A couple of them that came under real heavy scrutiny was Mike McLean's and Chris Telfer's. We had on there both of their positions that they were against dam removal and the KBRA. I feel very confident on that position. From our point of view, neither one of them has a formal position out in the public view, but both of them, Mike McLean has stated many times that he is against dam removal, and he has stated many times in public forums that he doesn't like it. He supports Senator Doug Whitsitt's position on that, Representative Garrard and Representative Gilman's position on those two issues, which they are both all adamantly against. He does put a little caveat behind that, saying that he's still studying it and he hasn't come out with a formal position, but his vocal comments says exactly he does have a position. With Chris Telfer, she was a senator that voted against dam removal funding bill, Senate Bill 76 in the state legislature. That says volumes for her position is, and we feel very confident that even though they don't have a formal position that they have put out there for publication, what they have said in their voting record says indicates what their position is. We've contacted Mike McLean, and he doesn't have any bad feelings about the PAC because we're trying to support him as a candidate, and we will continue to do so. We did pull both of those individuals off the next ad that came out here yesterday, I guess it was. We feel very confident that even though they don't have a formal position that they have put out there for publication, what they have said in their voting record says indicates what their position is. We've contacted Mike McLean, and he doesn't have any bad feelings about the PAC because we're trying to support him as a candidate, and we will continue to do so. We did pull both of those individuals off the next ad that came out here yesterday, I guess it was, and just to ease the tensions around there a little bit, we stand by what we wrote in that ad, and I have no qualms about supporting that.
So it sounds like essentially what you're saying is that even though they haven't come out and officially made a statement saying they are for or against the KBRA, what they have said about it in the past leads you and the Political Action Committee to believe that they're against the KBRA, and so you feel that stating as much was an accurate representation of their stance on the issue.
Absolutely, and you have to understand the reason for a Political Action Committee is to insulate the candidates from scrutiny sometimes. The election laws are very harsh in some of these aspects. We did not want to contact them because if you do contact, and you can contact them, the Secretary of State office up there said, well, you can contact them. Yes, you can contact them, but once you contact them, you actually put them at jeopardy if something gets put in an ad that's not correct. Then the people can come back after the candidate themselves. So we didn't want to get them involved in it. We felt very comfortable about the position we put in there, and we still do feel that way. A candidate cannot get involved in a Political Action Committee to have any control over it, any input really. They can give their positions, yes, but if you do have conversations with you, you open up the door to have scrutiny against the candidates themselves.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Which we do not want to have happen.
The Political Action Committee operates independently of the candidates, and as I understand it, PACs don't need express permission from candidates to use their likeness or to use their name in advertisements. And in fact, if a candidate were to contact a PAC and say they wanted something removed, that would then be the violation.
Well, if they wanted something removed, I don't think that would be a violation. I'm not sure how that would work. Usually it's the other way around. If they ask to have something put in an ad, that would be a violation very definitely. So we wanted to insulate the candidates from that, so we did not contact them for that specific reason. We are still supporting the conservative issues and the conservative candidates, and we'll continue to do so.
And there was one other issue with that advertisement, and you and I talked about this a little bit earlier off air, and that is one of the borders. There was a statement on that read, I don't recall exactly what it said, but it was along the lines of "Say no to dam removal, vote yes" on ballot measure 1880. And I know that there were some people, at least in the community that I heard from, that thought that was a little misleading, because ballot measure 1880 is about the KBRA overall and whether or not the county should remain involved in that, not necessarily specifically dam removal. Is that something that your PAC may reconsider the wording of that mentions specifically dam removal?
Well, we will consider it. We are changing our ads on a regular basis. We're going to go to a couple different directions in the future. We already had that planned. But on that specific item there, we feel confident in that position. Dam removal and the KBRA are joined at the hip. They cannot be separated, so if you support one, you support the other.
Well, Tom, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Here we are, just October 1st. It's going to be an interesting month, to say the least. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Tom Mallams, member of the Klamath Conservative Voters PAC. Sports is coming up next. Stay tuned.